When an AI system makes a mistake in a hospital, the most common reaction is to treat it as something new, something unprecedented, something that breaks existing rules. In reality, AI in healthcare is far less novel than it appears. Most clinical AI systems are not autonomous decision makers. They are automated extensions of workflows hospitals have relied on for years. Triage rules, risk scores, alerts, prioritization tools, decision support logic. The difference is scale and speed, not category. Hi, I'm Shuaib, medical physicist and CEO at Newton's Tree. In this video, I want to tackle a question the industry often avoids directly. When AI goes wrong in a hospital, who actually absorbs the liability? Now let's start by removing a common misconception. There is no single point of liability for AI. Liability in healthcare AI is often distributed, just like it is for any other clinical or operational system. First, vendors. AI vendors are responsible for meeting applicable regulatory requirements, for example, FDA clearance or approval where relevant and compliance with quality management and post-market obligations. That responsibility does not disappear once the software is installed. But regulatory compliance does not mean clinical accountability for local use. Which brings us to hospitals. Hospitals are responsible for how AI is selected, deployed, governed, and monitored within their environment. This includes ensuring the system is appropriate for the use case, that it's integrated safely into workflows, and is subject to ongoing oversight. That responsibility already exists today for clinical pathways. It exists for decision support tools and operational systems. AI does not remove that. Third, clinicians and professionals. Professional liability does not vanish because AI is involved. Licensing bodies and professional societies still expect clinicians to exercise judgment, to understand the tools that they're using, and to act in accordance with standards of care. AI does not replace professional responsibility. It reshapes how that responsibility is exercised. And now this is where the uncomfortable reality sets in. When an AI system makes a mistake, liability is rarely about the algorithm in isolation. It's usually about whether each party met their responsibilities within this system. Did the vendor, for example, meet their regulatory and quality obligations? Did the hospital deploy and monitor the system appropriately? And were clinicians trained and supported to use it correctly? Were governance structures in place to detect problems early? In practice, failures almost always emerge at the interfaces between these roles. Unclear ownership, assumptions about responsibility, missing monitoring, or workflows that quietly shift accountability without anyone explicitly agreeing to it. This is why asking who is liable is often the wrong first question. The more useful question is, where does accountability sit at each stage of the AI lifecycle? Selection, deployment, clinical use, ongoing monitoring, and response when something goes wrong. Hospitals that struggle with AI liability tend to treat it as a legal problem to be solved later. Hospitals that manage it well treat it as an operating model problem to be designed up front. They define ownership clearly, they document decision-making, they monitor performance and human interaction with AI over time, and they create governance structures that make responsibility explicit rather than assumed. And so AI does not create new liability out of thin air. It exposes weaknesses in existing governance, and it does so faster and more visibly than traditional systems ever did. To summarize, AI in healthcare is not a legal anomaly. It's an automated continuation of long-standing clinical and operational workflows. Liability, therefore, is shared across vendors, hospitals, and professionals, and it crystallizes when governance and accountability are unclear. Health systems that understand this stop asking who to blame after something goes wrong. They focus instead on designing systems where accountability is clear, evidence is available, and problems are detected early. At Newton's Tree, we help health systems manage AI across its full life cycle, so accountability is explicit, monitoring is continuous, and decisions remain defensible when scrutiny arrives. Because the real risk is not that AI will make mistakes, it's not knowing who owns what when it does. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.